Absolutely extraordinary.
What's up guys, Minimate here, and today I'm going to be starting a new series called Epic First Episode. Title is being worked on. This is where I break down the first episode of an anime to show just how amazing it is. The first series we're going to be using in our first episode of Epic First Episode, that's confusing now, isn't it? Is going to be PA Works Charlotte. Now Charlotte is an absolutely amazing anime, but to me, the first episode stands out the most. The anime starts off with an establishing shot of our character Yu, who will be the protagonist of this anime. Honestly, this is really just PA Works showing off the quality of their animation. There's nothing too notable for the pre-roll, so let's just go ahead and jump into the anime. The first part of the anime is here to establish Yu's powers and Yu as a character. It's quite clear that he isn't exactly here to make the world a better place. He blatantly states that he is pretty selfish and decides to use his powers to become essentially the school prodigy by stealing test answers. By the way, his power is to take over someone's body for a total of 5 seconds. It's actually pretty freaking hilarious because he does an immense amount of research so he can get into the best high school by finding out who all the smart kids from the other high schools are, so he knows who to steal answers from. This is all shown pretty quickly, and I do admit it is kind of a cop-out to use exclusively inner monologues to establish everything, but the writing is entertaining enough to where I'm not gonna hate on it. One of the best choices I think the directors of this anime made was adding these little smirks that he does every time he starts putting on his act. The first little smirk is very important because it's basically showing off that he's won, that he's becoming super confident and he's overtaken by his ego. It also shows off that the main character of this anime isn't exactly a good guy either. We're so used to seeing these Mr. Perfects, and I think it's fucking hilarious that they're having this character play the Mr. Perfect role, and he's essentially just mocking it because he's lying to get that far ahead. The anime gets away with a ton of trope mocking, by the way. My personal favorite is when he intentionally causes a car wreck just to save the life of the most popular girl in school. Up to this point, just about everything we find out about our character is done through inner monologuing. It's really easy to hate on this, but, and hear me out, I think it was actually a stylistic choice because the second act begins after every goal he has gone after has basically been accomplished. He's got the girls drooling over him, he's basically a hero at the school, and he's also known as the smartest guy at the school. It's pretty great to just see it all blow up in his face. He gets forced to retake one of his tests and is essentially baited into using his powers. This is where he's busted by Tomori. It's hilarious because instead of facing the fact that he was busted, he just like runs out like a little bitch. This is obviously done to bring home the fact that this dude is just like a fucking terrible human being. Now finally exposed to people that are actually challenging Yu, the amount of inner monologuing from Yu drops significantly. This is to show the fact that he's finally being brought out of his little world and back into the real world. In this act, he finally has a full-fledged conversation, and most of the story is told through action, and by action I mean getting fucking bodied by Takajo. And just to show the fact that he's hitting rock bottom, Tomori just beats the shit out of him for a few minutes, and then forces him to change to their school. This act starts off with you seeing Yu at home for the first time in this anime. And surprise, he has a cute little sister. They even do a small incest joke just to kind of throw a jab at one of my most hated anime tropes. This is a really big scene because you get to see that he doesn't put up this farce with his little sister. You finally get to see a slightly likable side to Yu. Ayumi's great because she's basically your classic little sister trope, the few wrenches thrown into it. Most notably is the fact that her cooking is fucking terrible. They banter back and forth, casually dropping some subtle foreshadowing. The main point of their conversation is to tell the audience that they are moving due to the school change. After that, they do a small flashback scene of Yu talking to the girl he was after, and essentially him getting rejected hard mode. It's pretty great because at this point, everything he has gained from his powers has been violently taken away from him along with his pride. The last bit of the anime essentially establishes that Tomori and Takajo are not as horrible as they originally seemed. So why was this episode so amazing? Well, first off, the art was outstanding and the stylized directing was also pretty incredible. I also liked that they took on so many classic anime tropes and then flipped them on their heads. They also established the world that they live in and how everyone's powers, although great, generally comes with some kind of weird quirk. They also show Takajo and Tomori in a way that can showcase their powers along with establishing them as characters. Ayumi's introduction was sort of on the weak side, but she was an interesting character due to the fact that she helps us see how you can be a decent guy through somewhat innocent eyes. And of course, we also have Yu. He was established as any main character would be, but it's great to see him go from this arrogant prick to someone who's getting the shit beaten out of him by the end of the episode. I think you can call that character development. Overall, it's just amazing what PA Works was able to accomplish in a mere 24 minutes, and I just wanted to give them some recognition for their efforts. Anyway, you guys, I wanted to step away from doing my usual top 10s and do something a little bit more serious. What do you guys think of this video, and do you have any recommendations for other episodes? Make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and always snort cocaine through the left nostril. This is Man Matt. Make sure you guys say, man, go watch that goddamn anime!